Hi Year 11, I hope you're all well today and looking forward to doing a bit more cosine rule practice. I'm sure you are. As promised, I'm not going to talk for too long today. I'm going to give you a couple more examples just to recap, and then that leaves you the rest of the lesson to get on and practice some of those problems, because I know we didn't have much time to practice it yesterday. Now remember, looking ahead, again, I've told you they're going to all be cos rule today, but remember that in future you're going to have to notice that for yourself. Now here we need to find this angle x degrees, and our clue when we're finding an angle that it's cos rule is that we know all three sides. If we know all three sides of the triangle and we want to find an angle, then cosine rule is going to be our friend. Now, as always with these examples, do try and do them as much as you can and then watch back rather than just copying it down from me. If you're not sure, I'll talk it through step by step, and what you need to do is when I suggest a step is pause the video, have a go at that step, and then play the video to see if you got it right. So the first thing I want you to do is to write the cosine rule. Can you write it from memory, or can you try and write it from memory as best you can, and then label the sides and the angles? Have a go. And remember, you're writing the cosine rule, the version for this one, you need to write the version that starts with cos A. I'll give you a clue, there's a little fraction in there. So pause the video, write that as best you can, and then label the angle and the sides. And hopefully you got that cos A equals b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. Don't worry if you didn't remember it. Once you've practiced it more times today, you'll be able to remember it a lot better. And then this angle is going to have to be angle A, and that means that this side is going to have to be lowercase a, and remember, it doesn't matter which way round your b and your c are. Then you need to substitute in, so pause it now and have a go at doing that. And hopefully you've done that, you've unpaused, and that you've got that cos of x must equal 7 squared plus 8 squared minus 9 squared over 2 times 7 times 8. And now you need to solve that equation to make it x equal, so pause and have a go at that. And hopefully you have done inverse cos, so both sides, that cancels the cos and gives you x, and then the right hand side is just going to give you inverse cos of everything we had in the previous step. 7 squared plus 8 squared minus 9 squared over 2 times 7 times 8, and then all that's left is to get that as a normal number. So put it in your calculator. I'm going to make sure I press shift cos for inverse cos, hit that fraction button. 7 squared plus 8 squared minus 9 squared over 2 times 7 times 8, and I can see that's given me 73.398, or if I round that to 3 significant figures, if I've not been told what to round to, 3 significant figures is always a pretty safe bet, and that gives me 73.4. One more example then will be an example of where you need to find a side. So here's my triangle, and like I said, my clue that it's cos rule. I need to, if I want to find a side and I know the other two sides and an angle, then that's my cue to use cos rule. So we're going to go through those same steps again. As best you can you write down the cos rule for when you're using it for a side and label the angle and the sides. I'll give you a head start, I'll give you a clue. It starts with a squared. How well can you remember that? Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at that. A squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. Really well done if you remembered that. Again, don't worry if not, because you'll get some chance to practice a bit more today. Labelling the sides, remember the way we've been doing it, we've always been doing it so that the side we want, or the angle we want, is A. That means that this angle is going to have to be a capital A, and again the B and the C can be either way round. Substitute in then, pause the video and have a go, and hopefully you've done that and got a squared, or sorry, well, it's y squared, isn't it? Let's do it how I did it. It's called y, but it doesn't really matter what letter. Y squared equals 8 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 8 times 11 times cos of 13. And the last thing is then just to solve. And to solve, I just need to get rid of the squared. So I'm going to square root both sides. That gets rid of the squared and leaves me on the right hand side just the square root of everything I had before. And again, I'm just going to quickly type that in my calculator. Cos of 13. Making sure my calculator is in degrees mode, and I can see that's given me 3.67571. I'm going to write that bit before I round it first, just in case I make any rounding mistakes, so I've got that nice clear answer. And then if I haven't been asked what to round it to, I'm going to do 3 significant figures again, 3.68 in this case. Now, I think a lot of us were quite confident in those yesterday, which is brilliant. That means you'll get onto some more of those problem-solving questions today. You're not always going to be just given the triangle. You're going to be given information about the positions of something, or there's lots of different things you've been given. A lot of these like to link in with bearings, which I know some of us struggle with. So it's really important that you draw diagrams. If you're given some information and you're not given a diagram, draw a diagram, put all the information in a diagram. The way you make those problem ones easy is if you just turn them into triangle ones. Draw the diagram, find the triangle, and then you should just be able to do it like a normal triangle one. But as ever, I will be online. I will be in work. I'm not just going to be sat at home in bed, sadly. So any problems with the work or with the PowerPoint or any help, or you get stuck, just drop me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure now, this would have taken you about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long you paused it for. So that means it's probably about 10 past or 3:15. So you need to work for about another 40 minutes on this, and then you should be done for the day. Okay, good luck with that. Let me know if there's any problems, and I'll speak to you later on.